I think, this is just my personal opinion, I don't have anything to base this on other than just thinking into it and just what I came up with, but I kind of look at it like this. Looking at the makeup and getting a better look at it while watching the film, you realize that what they managed to do was blank out most of the face with this makeup, so it's harder to tell really who's underneath it. My opinion is that they were completely 100% trying to reboot the Nightmare on Elm Street series and make the makeup so that if Jackie Earle Haley wasn't going to come back to play the role of Freddy, we could put someone else in it, they'll still look relatively the same. Maybe I'm wrong about that, I don't know, but it's just an idea that popped in my head, and it seems like it's not like it's too far-fetched or anything like that. But what I wanted to do now is, since I mentioned most of the negative stuff there, I wanted to mention some of the positives of the movie. One of the things that I will give the movie credit for is I thought it had some pretty cool-looking cinematography. They managed to build atmosphere in the movie, which was something that I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to do, and I'm one of the people that complain that horror films now have a hard time creating atmosphere. It's not really important. It's more about, just balls out gore or just whatever they're trying to sell you. It's not really about trying to create an atmosphere of dread and fear. But that was actually pretty good in this one. I was pretty impressed with some of the stuff they did with that. So the cinematography in the movie is pretty good. Very much how Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, is. The cinematography is probably the best thing about it. Another thing, too, was some of the special effects in the movie were pretty cool. I could have done without some of the CG that they had in the movie. I think that that immediately screws things up. And what I'm talking about is there's a specific scene in the movie, and I'm trying to do this completely spoiler-free, too, because I don't want to ruin the movie for people who still want to see it but might want to check out a review of it. One of the things that annoyed me about the movie was how the CG is used to create a dream sequence. Like, there's a scene where there's a girl sitting in a classroom. I'm sure you've seen it on the trailer and stuff. She's sitting in a trailer, or in the trailer, she's sitting in a classroom, and she's in a regular classroom, and this CGI wave just comes down so you know it's a dream. And I thought that was so lame, to be honest with you. And not because CG was used, but just because of the fact that the cool thing about the Nightmare on Elm Street series was when the dream sequences happened, you weren't immediately let in on the fact that it was a dream. There were little things to pick up along, and it kind of led you down this road of, okay, now it's a dream. The fact that they did it this way in the remake is just mind-boggling to me, because it takes you right out of the film. It's immediately like, oh, that's a dream. Okay, well, now what's going on? Where's Freddy at? I mean, you're kind of led down a way to believe something's going to happen, and then you're like, okay, here's Freddy. Where's Freddy? What's he going to do? Blah blah blah. When in the earlier films, you're like, well, is this a dream, or are they awake? And it was kind of like that contrast of playing with your mind for a little bit before the big reveal that yes, it's a dream. But they didn't do that in this, and that to me is a big failure. Especially because in the original series, that's one of the coolest parts about it, is you were just locked into this world, and you don't know what's real, and you don't know what's a dream, and you're kind of right there with the characters who aren't really sure either. But in this one, you're let in on way too much. It's just not, there's no mystery involved, there's no suspense involved, it's just Freddy running around and killing people. And another thing that really bothered me about the character of Freddy in the remake was, we'll compare it to the original Freddy Krueger. One of the things that I thought made the Freddy character so cool was that he was just so damn sadistic. And by that I mean, he can kill you in your dreams, right? That's been well established. Well, that would be boring, okay? If he just, you're in dreamland and Freddy shows up, boom, kills you, boom, that's it. Boring, okay? But the thing is, Freddy liked to tease his victims and kind of drag it out and have it be this long, sequence where he's tracking the victim and you think you're getting away, but it's like, no, you're just falling further into my traps. And that wasn't the case here. People show up in dreams, Freddy might say a couple words to them, and boom, they're dead. Lame, unimaginative crap. That I had a major problem with. I do think that there is good and bad in the remake, but unfortunately, I thought the remake was somewhat of a failure. It just, as someone who grew up with the Freddy Krueger character in the Nightmare on Elm Street films, it's just not what I wanted to see. And I know a lot of people out there that watch this are going to say, well, dude, you should have known that going into it and everything else. And I did. But I thought they just screwed up on a lot of stuff that they shouldn't have. And ultimately, that's going to be the reason why the film's not as strong as it should have been. And, it's sad to me, man. I mean, a lot of people get up in arms and get angry about this stuff. To me, it just kind of makes me sad. They had a really good actor to play the Freddy Krueger character. Even though it wasn't Robert Englund, they screwed it up. They had the opportunity to use cutting-edge special effects to make this movie really cool, and they kind of didn't do that either. So, there's a lot of things that make it a failure to me. Personally, I don't really care if they make any more of the films or not. It's just whatever to me. I didn't hate the film, but I didn't love it either. I'm somewhere kind of in the middle where I'm just basically indifferent on it altogether. I wasn't mad that I seen it, but then again, I got in for free. So the best thing I can offer to you is I will say, if you're intrigued by the idea of this, maybe go check it out. If you're on the edge, maybe wait till DVD. And if you're really, really looking forward to this one, obviously go see it. But don't think people are going to be really high on this one. So that's basically my spoiler-free review of Nightmare on Elm Street. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I wanted to talk about this movie because it's something people have been looking forward to for some time. So I wanted to give you my take on it. And that's from an old-school Nightmare on Elm Street fan, guys. So, take that as you will. If you think I'm bitter, then I'm bitter. If you don't think I'm bitter and you believe me, then cool. It's just my opinion. So that's Nightmare on Elm Street remake. We're also going to have more stuff here on the Blood Type Online YouTube channel about Nightmare on Elm Street. Like I said, we're going to have a review of the Blu-ray. We're going to be taking a look at Never Sleep Again, the kick-ass documentary. So stay tuned, because we're going to be doing some more Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. So this is Ed. Thanks for watching. See you next time.